Hello, we are delighted to have with us today Oleksiy Feliv, a managing partner at INTEGRITES, one of the biggest law firms in Ukraine. And Oleksiy, it is good to see you. How are you doing?
Thank you, Andy. Good to see you too. And yeah, thank you for organizing these chats. Very interesting and inspiring.
Thank you.
Happy to keep in contact.
It's good. I think this is the first law firm that we're speaking to in these chats. So give us an understanding of what the legal market, the law firms, how are you coping, and what are you doing differently during these times when we're pretty much in quarantine and lockdown?
Yeah, I think, you know, that law firms, unlike many businesses, when you are hit by a kind of crisis, you are not hit immediately. So this has a delayed effect. And because we had some crisis ago, you know, in 2014 and in 2008, I think that that we are much better prepared than those days. And what we knew that we need to prepare ourselves. And you know, the most important thing was, how do we react and what are our steps? Starting working remotely was rather a natural thing because of the quarantine. We were not pushed, but we decided to do so before actually the quarantine was really legally put in place. And here we were really happy to see that we are prepared in terms of our IT stuff. So actually we decided some time ago to move everything to cloud, and that was a smart decision. You know, we are managing rather big volumes of documents and files and exchange of information. So you know, a secure and troubleless working of IT system is today a prerequisite for a successful functioning of a law firm. So that was a broader preparation. We were happy to acknowledge when that happened. But what we tried to do differently, this is to use this time not to shrink down the work, but actually trying to see the opportunities. So the work shifted. Of course, M&As, they rather stopped. Litigations, they stopped because more or less the court stopped. But at the same time, a lot of corporate issues, a lot of labor issues, a lot of tax issues, a lot of actually cost cutting, cost efficiency issues arise. And we are very much kept busy by that issues too. Nonetheless, we try to look into the business development still in an online format. And I have to admit that after 1 month of exercising this, it turned to be pretty successful. Namely because people are accessible. You want, I don't know what's your experience, but our experience is that people are accessible. They are home and they're ready to talk. They don't need to travel to you. They don't need to spend time. They are not late. They are always on time, and they are happy to talk about the challenges, about the opportunities, about what they could get from us, maybe different than what they used to get from other service providers, advisors, and so on. So that turned to be really successful, and that ended up actually in a rather increasing amount of different work now coming into the firm.
Brilliant. I think that's a fascinating opportunity, sort of, you know, using this as a business development time. I think that's really, you know, showing up opportunities. But so in terms of practice areas, so the lawyers that have been working in like M&A and litigation, are they sort of helping the other practices, or what are you seeing? How's that changing?
Exactly. So we have like, for example, some corporate investigations. So the litigation lawyers are dealing now more and more with this. We are talking about domestic litigation, actually, because if we talk about cross-border litigation and international arbitration, these practices are still kept very busy. You know, they have longer preparation period. Typically, you know, the hearings are somewhere in the autumn, so they are still kept busy by the cases they have. There are still a few tenders going on for legal services, so they are participating now. And this kind of tenders are pretty time consuming to prepare. Sometimes we just don't participate because we don't really believe maybe in the case, and then we don't have time to prepare, especially if it's cross-border case and we need to involve our foreign partners. So this is what they are doing now. Same time, for example, roads construction, you know, the government shifted a bit the deadlines for the auctions, but still the auctions are going to take place. So we are pretty busy now to prepare for around 20 auctions in roads construction.
It's fantastic. Well, it's a good time to build roads.
Yeah.
We're all sat at home, and now's the time to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a shiftment, and or my responsibility is to identify these areas and then to look that, you know, that we are swiftly moving into that areas and approaching that areas, preparing ourselves, and also, you know, a lot of homework. You know, when you go through, you realize a lot of homework hasn't been properly done for the last years, but that's important, actually. You know, if you
what do you mean?
Starting with, you know, with marketing materials, description of the products, concentration on the industries, you know, so all this templates, update of your website, update of your motivation schemes, update of your career prospects, and so on. So a lot of internal stuff which you actually need to upgrade if you want to upgrade your firm. So that's what more the administrative staff is concentrating on. You know, you can divide the law firm into two main staffs, right? The lawyers and the administrative staff. And we have pretty big administrative staff. And this staff has been kept now as busy as the lawyers, was really looking forward where we are going to go and what will be the post-COVID time, and preparing ourselves also administratively and technically.
Okay, but I mean, you mentioned post-COVID time. What do you think, you know, we'll be doing differently? What is the new real post-COVID? I mean, will we be going to the office, or will we be working more from home, or?
Yeah, I think, you know, this time showed, Andy, that what we were anticipating, you know, that you can, you know, some of especially of the American firms, they have introduced for a long time 4-day work at office, and then 1 day off, or not off, but 1 day from home. And we were looking into this, and we were questioning ourselves, is this something for lawyers? Because as a lawyer, you have to be there. Your client expects you to be there, to be all the time accessible, and so on. And now the reality is there, right? So, and you see that the reality proves rather obvious facts that nothing dies, and many things you can do even more effectively online than offline. And I think this proven reality will become more analyzed and more developed. What we've started, or what I've started to do probably 2 years ago, I started to shift some lawyers to work remotely. What I mean is, it's not really off counsel. You know, there is in a law firm, there is such a position as an off counsel, meaning the person is not really involved in the office, but is involved by case to case, and, you know, on some separate issues. That has been known to law firms for long, but this is not really a full-time employee. So what we started to do, or what I started to do, those senior lawyers whom I trust the work as they wish. So you can come to work, you don't have to come to work. The main thing, you are managing your files, you are managing your cases, and whether you sit in my office, in client's office, or back home, I don't care. So we had this we had 3 cases like this, and they also proven to be successful. I have to admit that, of course, that needs a kind of confidence, into the person and trust, that you probably cannot share it immediately with, I don't know, with junior staff. But that proved to be success already before COVID. And I think COVID will just increase these trends. And probably from an accidental experiment, which I have done, it will come to more
Brilliant. Well, this series of videos which we have is about leadership. So what are you seeing in terms of leadership skills in your people and in yourself?
Yeah. I think that leadership is not something that you expect to see in crisis. Of course, you have to take the decisions, and these decisions must be quicker, appropriate, understandable. You have to have the ability to explain this decision to your people and so on. But I think that leadership, it's really about what's your strategy in the company and how you build up. And I have to admit that I'm pretty happy that we didn't run into this crisis, with full speed into the wall. We have built up a pretty solid team. I'm very proud of. And if it comes to the leadership in crisis, and as a managing partner, I would have to decide, do I have to cut staff, for example, or we say you lose the ballast in the crisis. We don't have ballast, so we have really built up the team where I don't need to use crisis now to improve maybe some things. So I also don't need to take any super hard decisions to lead the company through this crisis. But that, of course, means you need to look a bit forward and to try to assume what's coming and then to react respectively. So I think that this is more about this. And of course, there's always inspiration of people. You very often underestimate how important it is to people that they understand that your management is confident in what's coming and how to overcome. So I think that this is rather really important. But generally, I believe it's difficult to be a leader if you didn't prepare the structure well. If you prepare the structure well, like all these people who are sitting home now, when you are in the office, maybe you can put some control mechanism, but now you have no control mechanism. You can, of course, try to reach them out online, but it's up to them how they do their work. Do they do well? Do they do 8 hours or 10 or 12 and so on? So this is really about what you build up, and what has been built up so far in our company. I'm very confident, and that has been proven by the figures. That the people are self-motivated, the people are involved, the people showed full understanding to all the decisions which we've taken. And I think this is all about this.
Brilliant, super. So final question, what is your one message to the members of the American Chamber of Commerce here in Ukraine?
Oh, my message would be use this time to think what's going to be and how this will impact your business, your firm, and your people, and try to be a step ahead. I think that helps a lot. If you are the first runner, you typically have the benefits. If you got the best projects, if you got the best clients, if you are always a step ahead your competitors, you will succeed. And I think that there's time, we have now really rather calm time, despite doing the work, we have time to think about these things, what's coming, what's approaching, how will I react, how do I get my people on board, how I explain to them, how I brainstorm. So I think that's really the best time you could imagine, because in the hectic in which we are living in normal life before COVID, you just don't have time for this. You cannot reach people, you know, even your team, everybody is busy with his own stuff, everybody is running for meetings and so on. So this is the best time to think about what's coming, about the strategy, about the changes in the company, and they are of course obvious, right? It's getting everything online, or as much as possible online. It's getting more and more technological. It's getting more and more innovative. So it's all clear, but when you speak generally, but think what specifically you can change, what specifically you could do that your company becomes innovative, driven, and. So I think that's what I would.
That's brilliant. Super. So thank you, Oleksiy Feliv, managing partner at INTEGRITES law firm. Great. Thank you for your insights. Thank you for all your support. Stay healthy, stay safe. Good luck, and good luck to all the lawyers and the friends at INTEGRITES. And I hope to see you soon.
Yeah. Thank you, Andy. Thank you for organizing and for driving this. Great to be part of the American Chamber community. And you as the inspiring leader of that community, keep going.
Thank you. See you soon.
You.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.